I get excited hearing about this season 5. For so many reasons. First and foremost, rest in power to John Singleton. Give that man a round of applause.
Always.
I remember that man first came up to the show and told us about this idea, and then he told us about this amazing actor. I didn't believe him. I just thought he was gassing up the show. But he told me the kid was amazing, and we got a chance to meet him in person. And that clip we played, I remember back in 2000, I want to say 2017 when he came up to the show. He's since been on the cover of GQ. He's been, he's received much critical acclaim.
Yes.
Man, he got a lot of dudes from the street in America thinking that he's one of them. He's an imposter, y'all. That's how well he does at his job. Please welcome Damson Idris back to the show. Damson, what up, baby?
Damson.
Thank you,
D.I., what up?
Thank you for having me. That was a great intro.
Come on, man. There's a lot of people that think I'm still, after all of these seasons, they still think you from the hood somewhere in America right now, man. You ever get approached by like real hood guys that like talk to you like, yo, give me the game, man. Give me the game.
Give me the game.
Oh, all the time. It's like, man, I need your prices, man. Come on, man. I need your prices. Yeah,
yo, say word. Yeah,
it's a testament, man. It's a testament to how well everyone's doing on the show, man. We really put our all into it, So I'm happy people can relate to it and hopefully learn from it too, and empathize with this world, empathize with what people of this world have been through. I hope that's what the show's doing.
Empathize with people from this world that's been through. It sounds like you're kind of empathetic to the drug dealer. Right, who's
and the
pretty
victim.
much in the victim, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you feel like through this show. Well, tell me about your character. Like, what is it that you think we should empathize with him from? I mean, he's now gotten to the point by this season where he's at the top of his game. He's a true boss. He's made a lot of money. Why not just stop and go somewhere else? Where's that empathetic thread in that?
Well, I think that the empathy comes from the fact that Franklin came from extremely humble beginnings due to the position that the system put him in, which is why he was forced to do what he has done. But the silver lining is, despite him having nearing $100 million in 1986, today in season 5, he's still not happy. And I hope that proves to a lot of kids in the game that, being involved in this game is going to force you to do some horrible things. But just know you're going to lose a piece of your soul. And by the end of it, you may be too far away from redemption and you might not even going to be happy. So I think that's what we see from Franklin as we followed him on this journey from season 1 to today.
I'm curious. We were talking, I won't say his name because he said this off the record, but he's one of the biggest podcasters in the game right now, at least coming out of the United States. Okay. And he pulled me aside, and I knew him when he was coming up, and we done a few things together on this show where we kind of helped put this man on a platform. And he pulled me aside, and he said, Sway, I got all of these zeros in my bank account, and I realize that it doesn't make me happy. It's not the money that makes me happy. Have you ever had a moment like that with acting, where you felt like, wow, I reached this goal, and I'm looking around and I'm still not totally fulfilled? Was there a moment in your life with acting like that?
100%. And definitely during COVID, because I was alone. And, season 4 gave us our greatest numbers, thanks to, greater marketing from FX and us going onto the Hulu platform and people just being at home. The show really just kind of blew up in season 4 when I was on that cane. And I was getting notoriety and people were acknowledging my work, but I wasn't happy. Why? Because I wasn't with my family. My family are in Africa or they're in London. And the majority of my life is being alone in the house, alone in the back of a car, alone on a plane. And I was getting money and success, but that there was that hole there. And that's why this Christmas I actually flew 24 members of my family out to LA They ruined the
damn.
house, man.
They did,
They
man.
ruined it in the best way. But you know
You
what?
know how hard it is to tell kids to take their shoes off when they're walking on that rug. You know the rug you really like.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
They're not doing
It's
that.
hard to tell some grown people that too.
Hello.
Exactly.
That's the rug we
And
want to leave our mark on.
Exactly. Yeah, they want to leave their mark. And I'm an uncle to 16 nieces and nephews. So,
Damn.
yeah,
Y'all like sex.
Wow, Calloway.
Family
That's
put in
his
work.
last name. A lot of good-looking people got the last name.
Nigerians, man. We don't stop.
Damn
But it's
thing.
so interesting. It's so interesting because, we all caught COVID, unfortunately. They were supposed to stay for a week. They ended up staying for a whole month because everyone caught COVID. So it was an extra 3 weeks of me having to deal with all these personalities.
Yeah,
It's really hard to kick a 3-year-old out your house. You ever had to do that before?
Nah, I tried to with my daughter. She just came back, bro. Damson Idris is with us, man. We talking Snowfall season 5. HB, you want to jump in?
Yes, Damson, thank you for joining us and thank you for sharing a little bit the story. I recently saw a clip of Giannis giving a hug and a salute to Allen Iverson. And he told Allen Iverson that you are the reason I wanted to play basketball. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, wow, that's so crazy. Like to me, they seem like they grew up in two different worlds. And to see Giannis hug and acknowledge AI like that and AI receive it so well, it was beautiful. I know that you have been a huge fan of Denzel and he's inspired you as well. Other than Denzel, I don't know if you ever had the opportunity to tell him that as well. Have you had a chance to meet somebody with doing everything that you're doing right now that you grew up admiring and just share those kind of words and give them their flowers, so to speak? And how did it make you feel?
Man, Idris Elba. Elba, man.
Wow.
And I met Idris Elba. It was like, come here. I know you. Everyone keeps talking about you. You've got my name.
Yes.
Now I was like, Idris, you're the GOAT, man. I said, Idris Elba, you broke down so many barriers and showed young kids like me from the hood in London that we could be actors and we don't have to be on Shakespeare. No shade to Shakespeare and no shade to Bridgerton. But that's in the UK still today what the majority of the consumers want to see from Black people. Black people not being allowed to be unapologetically Black on the screen, and it's shown from the numbers, from the viewership numbers. Shows such as Top Boy, shows that are predominantly Black. Our viewers are mostly Black people watching it because that's the only way we could really see ourselves on the screen. Shows like I May Destroy You, and then shows like Bridgerton and other shows like that will have way bigger numbers because white people are able to watch it, and that's how they want Black people to look in the UK, and that's why I would then come here to the States, and you guys would think that I'm all tea and crumpets and I live next door to the Queen, But anyone who's traveled to the UK and who's been to places like Brixton and Peckham know that we ain't. That's not how it is.
Ain't no tea and crumpets.
Ain't no tea and crumpets. Only jerk chicken.
Let's go.
Only jerk chicken.
Only that jerk, baby.
So that's the thing, when I saw Idris Elba, he was someone who I related to, someone who was able to cross over on a global scale and show that someone like me could do it too.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
All right. Trigger, you want to jump in?
Of course. I got two things for you, Damson. And anytime I see you, I'm just excited for your career, bro. Sincerely. Because especially watching you portray Franklin Saint every single season, I'm just like, wow, this is truly a star. The amount of layers that you got to tap in to portray such a complex character that is Franklin. Okay, so this is a spoiler alert for anyone watching or viewing. This new season, there was a scene where you went to your friend, Leon, and you were proposing to him, how about you put your money into real estate, right? You were pitching him the idea of getting paid from these high rises. And Leon said something so interesting that I didn't see coming, but it made sense nonetheless. And he was like, why would I put my money into something the white people are only going to be able to benefit from? they're going to be the ones living in it, you know? And even though me as a black man will get paid off of that, but it's an individual versus a community. You know what I'm saying? And that was so deep for me, and it made me curious to have you here now. Have you thought about money differently in terms of like who's it's going to benefit? You know what I'm saying? When I buy this,
100%. You know, my sister's my publicist. That money's going to her. You know, it's going to my nephews. I try to get my family involved in my career as much as possible. I know people don't recommend it. Hey, you can't tell your mama off. But it's but you know, that's what I'm obviously I'm producing now, you know, so I was given that opportunity this season, and I'm producing other movies and thinking about putting people in positions of power that are from different backgrounds, you know. We're always preaching diversity. It's time to really do it. So that's something I'm focusing on today. There's so many other ways, you know, from fashion to what you like to consume, the shows you watch, the music you listen to. I'm being influenced in so many different ways. I'm being inspired by people who look like me, you know, the likes of Rich Paul and Hove, and having conversations with people like this and really learning how to live in my own light and be a leader so that I can help people in my community. So I think that's definitely taking a toll on me going forward.
Damson Idris is here, man. You've done so much, and you still seem like the same person, bro. You know, before you got on GQ. You know what I mean? You seem like it.
Why
is
it the GQ thing sticking with you so much, Sway? You trying to get
Sway
in?
wants to be on GQ. We're gonna make it happen.
I'm saying, man. Like, put a brother on. You said you're putting your people on. Put me on, man.
Talking about putting your people on.
Put your people on, man.
You usually got to take your shirt off for those shoots, though, Sway.
I'm not ready.
Man.
You see, I got shoulders, Damson. You see my shoulders, brother. I got forearms, too, if you really want to know. That's some knockout clubs right here, baby.
Damson, Sway gonna have the first shirt on that have like the shoulders out, but then all of this is covered. A shoulder shirt.
A shoulder shirt. But what I appreciate most, you know, we all been in this business a long time, and with success, you know, you get a lot of attention. You know, you get a lot of perks. You get nice art on your wall. By the way, who selected that art that's behind you?
Oh no, this is this is somebody else's. Oh, I'm in a different location today.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right.
I might take it with me though to prove I haven't changed.
Okay, to prove. Okay, cool. But so here's my question, man. How do you handle it all? Fame. Wow. You know, we've seen fame tear some people up. We've seen it tear some folks up. You know what I mean? We've seen people just lose their bearings with fame, you know, whether it's the rumors, the headlines, the constant attention, the expectations. How have you dealt with it?
By understanding that, you know, so many giants have come before me and have made mistakes, and I learned from them. You know, John Singleton would always tell me, everyone you meet on the way up, you're going to meet on the way down. So stay humble. And, you know, you actually can't fall off if you're always nice to people. That's what I realized. I've seen people really, you know, be horrible to a lot of people in the industry. And then that karma hits them tenfold in the next 5 years, 10 years. That person that you was mean to could have lifted you back up. But I remember what you did, you know. So it's just about honing in my relationships, being around people that, you know, lift me up. People that believe in me, and that's how I deal with it. I try to be around my family as much as possible. That's something I'm doing more. Like my brother and my sister are out here in New York with me. We went to a little hookah lounge yesterday, and we went to this French restaurant called Le Coucou yesterday. That food was too bougie, but I needed something to grill. I needed some peppers or something, man. But I'll probably get that today. But just keeping my family around me. Remember, I'm the youngest of 6. Single mom, iron fist, slapped me across the head at 30 years old. And that's what keeps me humble, keeps me grounded. And I'm thankful to them for that.
Wow.
You've been a part of some really beautiful rumors, bro. And
Oh, man.
if
Oh,
the
here we
rumor
go.
was ever beneficial, well, you know, I already know you talked about Sweetie just being a friend after the video
Yeah.
went viral and the
Yeah.
whole nine. She's from the Bay, so I had my
Yeah.
eyebrow up when I saw that. Like,
Yeah.
you better do right if this is what it is. But
You better
you
do
know,
right.
you gonna have to bay on your back. But so you know she's a friend, but there's been one or two rumors I've been a part of that I wasn't mad at, man. Like I knew it wasn't true.
Oh,
You know what I
boy,
mean?
Sway.
I knew it wasn't true,
Yeah.
but man, it's kind of a cool rumor to be a part of.
Russian.
You know what I mean? Like let them
Oh
think what
man,
they think.
it was she's an amazing woman, you know. So yeah, it's a cool rumor to be a part of. But again, like she's a friend, you know, and she's so smart, man. Like
Yes, she is.
she's a really smart woman. She was doing a semester at USC. Like there's stuff the world doesn't know. And I'm fortunate enough to call her a friend. I think she's been doing this before me. I'm not sure, but we you know, she gives me advice, I give her advice on navigating fame and to just be a woman in the music game is definitely harder than what I do. So I learn a lot from her. But yeah, it's a cool rumor to be a part of.
It's a cool rumor, man. It's downhill from here now. You know,
Oh my God.
it's true. It's all downhill from here. But then you gotta I'm curious to now. Do you alter your course when you go out in public if you're actually hanging out with someone to kind of avoid that sort of thing? Have you gotten into that at all?
You know, I need to get to a place of comfortability in my own skin, and I understand it's smart to be calculated to avoid rumors. But guys and girls could be friends, man. And I think we need to push that more. I've met so many guys who are like, yeah, she thinks I'm her friend, but really I'm just holding on. I'm waiting for my moment. You know, they'll be friends with a woman for 5 years. I'm like, wow, you have some patience. So I keep women around me as much as possible. You know, my team is majority women. You know, women are the backbone of everything. And just seeing so many men have their downfall because they treated women badly. I need some women around me to slap me across the head and say, don't do that, don't do this. And the more friends I could have, the better I could understand what it's like to be. I'll never fully understand what it's like to be a woman. But the more people I can have around me, I'm going to know when to close my mouth, you know, because we be doing some wild stuff sometimes.
Yo,
man.
bro, you don't even know it.
You don't even know it. You know, I used to think it was okay to approach a woman and touch her elbow. I'm not doing that anymore either. I'm doing symbols now to get girls.
That elbow. Where did you get the elbow from?
Guys are always pulling girls' elbows like, hey baby, let me talk to you.
Come here.
Because they think the elbow, they think the elbow is a hard part. So they're like, yeah, that's a safe part. Like it's not sexual. Yep. I'm not even doing that anymore, man. I'm tap dancing.
Yo, to jump back into your acting techniques, I gotta say also something I've noticed from Franklin, and a lot of people when they think about acting, they focus on the fact that you have to remember your lines, but also body awareness is such a major facet of acting. And Franklin tends to stand in a way where he has both his hands behind his back and is very pensive. And the reason I noticed it's because it is my favorite stance for a man to be in, but not a lot of dudes do it. And it's just, for lack of better words, a real nigga position to be in. Like you look like the leader of the room. Both your hands behind, you gotta do it. It's gotta look so in it, bingo.
Oh, that stretches out your shoulders too.
Yeah. Don't that part too much.
Shoulders
again. Shoulders.
You just gotta ease into it. But Damson, something like that's so particular, and I really feel like just paints the right color of Franklin. Yeah. Do you think of that? Do you bring it in? Is that something where a director tells you? Where did those little nuanced touches come from?
Oh, I definitely brought it in. Yeah, it was a metaphor. It was a metaphor to show that Franklin never shows all his cards. He's always got his hands behind his back. I started doing it in season 3 I started doing it in season 3. Season 1 and 2, I wanted him to be very green, wear his heart on his sleeve. He would always kind of get a little itch over here, or he would fix his clothes. His mom would always tell him, fix your shirt, you know. And anytime he was nervous, he would fix his shirt. If you go back and look at that, these are little things I like to do, because everyone isn't like you and everyone doesn't notice it. Because when I watch my work, I'm so analytical, and I tend to focus on things that it's just like, every actor's like this. You just watch yourself the first time you see your work. You don't really pay attention to the story. So I like to throw little things in there that could excite me. You know, my method and process in acting is definitely a bit different. But I take inspiration when I play characters from everywhere. Like to create Franklin Saint. People don't know this. Andy Serkis's Caesar in Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Like he would walk into the room and he would kind of do this. I stole that. Franklin does that. You know, it's always looking around, and it tied in perfectly to the lifestyle of a drug dealer and paranoia, always looking over your shoulder. And I got that from Andy Serkis, and I put that into the character. And you know, that's the fun stuff I like about creating characters, putting those small things in there that only I know. It's like my secret.
And me.
It's like a rapper. Yeah, and you. It's like a musician, you know, like Kendrick does it all the time, you know?
Yeah.
Drake does it all the time. Hov does it all the time. So I like to do that in my acting.
Damson,
cool.
and what would we be surprised that if we popped into your house on like a Saturday night or a late Friday night, you just on your couch chilling that you're watching? Like, are you just super ratchet and you watching something crazy? Or we would be surprised that you are like really into some deep stuff? Like, I'm curious, like, what's something that we would be surprised that you actually watching and paying attention to?
Wow, man, this is just so silly. I like watching videos on YouTube of animals being freed. So you know, like if there's like a fish and he's got like a little hook around his neck or something, and like, or there's like a dog, like he's got like a little can on his leg or something, and then a random person comes and it's a wild dog, and the random person's trying to take the thing off, but they don't want to get hurt. I watch too many of those videos.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
The
so random.
whale with the net on it, the whale that got trapped in the net.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, the seal with the net. That's the perfect one. Yeah, I watch that too much. It's like one of my friends spends all day watching videos of people like popping zits.
God, yeah.
Like
popping zits.
Yeah, that's a whole niche.
Blackheads.
That's a weird industry. That's a weird industry.
Yeah, man. It's not as common as people watching animals getting freed. That's something people do every day. Is that?
Well, doing that since I was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You should try Life Below Zero.
Life Below Zero. Okay.
Try that. This is people who live in Alaska on their own. They live off the land. Well, you might not like that because they actually go hunting, so you might not like that.
Oh no!
Okay, Life Below Zero. Write that down.
I prefer
and we got
D'Angelo. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we got D'Angelo on the line from Maryland. D'Angelo, rise and shine. How you doing, D?
What up, D'Angelo?
What's up, Sway? Heather, Tracy? How you doing, man? How's
What's
it going?
popping? What's popping?
Road Warriors. Nothing much, man.
Warrior.
Oh, what up, D? What up, D? That's family, baby. What up?
No doubt. Look, I don't want to mess up your name, so I'm going to say, what's up, Franklin, man? Awesome job, brother. Awesome job.
Thank you, brother.
But question for you. No doubt, man. Question for you. I'm going to ride Sway's coattail a little bit. And when you say you have a little empathy for, for your victims, is that kind of why you incorporated the Len Bias? Because, we're kind of familiar with Len Bias' story in Maryland, when he passed away. And when y'all put that in there, that kind of threw me. That was kind of deep, man. I like that. Is that kind of where you kind of plan of, you're being empathetic to the victim and seeing what the drug dealing is, affecting people now?
Exactly. The introduction of season 5 of Len Bias was important to us because his unfortunate overdose created the the snowball effect of so much legislation that had a negative impact on African Americans. You talk about mandatory minimums. That's an insane concept. And the punishment of a gram of crack to 100 grams of cocaine was just an excuse to put Black people in prison. That's how I see it. And you think about a character like Wanda Bell, played by, Gail Bean, and just to see what she's been throughout the show, to see her have redemption, and to see her in season 5 trying to stay clean, trying to work hard to get better, despite all the madness she's done in the past. I have to empathize with that. I like to say crack cocaine in the 80s is like alcohol today. When you drink it, you think, I'll be fine. And then it takes a hold of your life. So yeah, I think it's very important to see that time as a health crisis, just the way they see opioids as a health crisis today. And it can't be a criminal crisis. Yeah.
Hey, D'Angelo, thanks for your call, brother. That was a great question, man. Our citizens, Damson, they got questions better than most journalists, man. I don't know if you noticed that, bro, but that's what our callers do. All right. Damson Idris, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause, brother. Congratulations to you. Continued success. You rep us extremely well on a global basis. Doesn't matter where you're from. We all come, but we could trace our history back to the same DNA. That's very easily. We can easily do that. So you are our brother, and you represent us well. Continued success. I can't wait to see what's next.
Yeah.
And Citizens, Snowfall, airing Wednesdays on Hulu, 10 p.m. Make sure you watch season 5. Anything you want to say in closing?
Man, I can't wait to see you on that GQ cover, man.
Come on, bro. Let's go, bro. I'm saying, man. Put the word in.
Our shoulders.
Put the word in, man. Shoulders, baby.
The shoulder issue.
The shoulder issue,
baby.
That's a good one.
Come on, man. All right, Damson. Continued success.
Peace,
I see you ducking away in alleys, okay? I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man.